Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. We're looking into the lens of a North Dakota photographer this morning. Shane is joining us to tell us more about his photography, along with his documentary and book series. Good morning, James.
Hi, how are you, Gillian?
I'm great. Thanks for joining us. I mean, you sound like a busy man just from my introduction there. So looking at your website, I know your studio is called Nostalgic Glass Wet Plate Studio. So I was wondering, what is wet plate photography?
It's a process that was invented in 1851 by Frederick Scott Archer. So I'm making images out of pure silver on black glass. And it's like the second known photographic process known to man. So in about 1838, the daguerreotype was invented, and about 10 years later, the wet plate process was invented.
Yeah, absolutely. And you kind of brushed over it a little bit right there, but what's the historic process that you practice?
Well, I'm putting silver on glass and I'm making these images. I'm on a 20-year journey to photograph 1,000 Native Americans in this process. It's called Northern Plains Native Americans, a modern wet plate perspective. As of last week, I was at 706 Native Americans. It's taken me nearly a decade to get there. There's a book series, 4 volumes. Right now I'm working on volume 3 for that. I've got over 800 plates at the State Historical Society of North Dakota. They're curating this entire series. And as of last week, the Field Museum in Chicago just took one of my plates. So that makes the 66th museum around the world that has my work.
That's incredible and a significant amount. What inspired you to do it?
Back in 2012, I wasn't even a photographer, so this image scrolled across my Facebook feed, and I asked the photographer what it was, and I didn't even own a camera at the time, and decided to see what this is all about, and just kind of dove in and have been going down this rabbit hole ever since.
Yeah, absolutely. And so tell us about the process of wet plate photography. I know that you said that it has a historic significance. I actually don't know much about it.
Yeah, so when you make an image out of pure silver, silver doesn't degrade over time. So these images that I'm making and I'm getting curated at all these museums, they'll be here 1,000 years from now, which you can't say for any other photographic process. These images are some of the most high resolution images man has ever made as well. You can put one of these plates under a microscope and you can't see the pixel or grain that makes up that image. So they're not only archival, but they're very high resolution. I've photographed Evander Holyfield, 4-time heavyweight champion of the world, John Batiste. I've photographed Deb Haaland, the Secretary of the Interior, Greta Thunberg. I photographed her down at Standing Rock, just to name some of the people that have come across in front of my lens over the last nearly 11 years.
Wow. Yeah, 11 years. That was my next question. So how long did it take you to become comfortable with this form of photography?
Well, I've got sitters arriving here in about half hour or so like that, and I'm not sure that I'm still comfortable with this process. It's not. You have to understand your iPhone. Modern day technology has really made us. It's been a big convenience. So your iPhone will take a photograph in 1/60th of a second. Today, when my sitters come in and I'm doing a couple plates for the Native American series today, they're going to have to hold still. These are long exposures for 10 seconds. So it takes about 600 times longer to make a wet plate collodion photograph than it does with your iPhone. So there's a lot of planning. I'll work all day today, 8 hours, and I'll probably make 5 to 6 plates. So if you can about imagine, with digital photography, you could, it's not uncommon to have 5,000 images taken at a wedding. I've only made 4,600 images in the last 11 years.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. And just like the difference that you just compared right there, I had no idea. That is really incredible. So can you tell us about your documentary coming up?
Well, the documentary has been live it's on Amazon Prime. So you can, if you search Balkowitsch, Balkowitsch, my last name, on Amazon Prime. It's an hour-long documentary. Greg Desay and Chelsea Civarali followed me around for nearly 2 years, and the film won some awards, and I'm rather proud of it. So if you wanted to do a deeper dive into what I'm doing here, you can just go to Amazon and watch the hour-long documentary. It's rather entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely. Amazon for the documentary, and then where else can people find you and your work?
Yeah, just my last name on Instagram or Facebook, or if you just type in Balkowicz wet plate on Google, you'll get hundreds of different links that share my work. And I'm just trying to capture history here in North Dakota. Just yesterday, they're tearing down the bridge here, the Burlington Northern Santa Fe railway bridge here in Bismarck. I've wanted to photograph this historic bridge for some years now. I knew I had to photograph this, and I was driving to work and I saw that they started doing dirt work to replace the bridge. So me and my daughter went down there and we were able to photograph the bridge. It's called The Last Days of the Bridge. And that plate will go to the State Historical Society to document the history and the importance of this historical bridge. And there's a bunch of us society members that are still fighting to try to keep this bridge, because this bridge was first thought about even before Bismarck was called Bismarck. So Bismarck would not be Bismarck without this bridge, and we're deciding that we're going to tear this down, and it just doesn't make any sense why we're losing this big piece of history here.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's amazing just to hear about the historical significance behind your work. So thank you so much for joining us and telling us about that.
It's been an honor, Jillian.
Yeah. All right, coming up on today's show, just one pull-up is challenging for some, but one coach is doing a 24-hour pull-up challenge. Those details are up next.